Hi, I'm Lisa from Vagabond Kayaks. Follow along with me to install the rudder kit on your Vagabond kayak. We'll start with the easiest element first, the rudder bracket. Line up the foot pedals to the side and front of the footrests. Use a marker to mark the hole positions. You'll notice in this video that the footrests and rails have been taken out of the kayak, and the only reason for this is that I was doing some cleaning maintenance on my friend's kayak, so rather leave yours in place, it makes it easier to drill. If your positioning is correct, the third drilled hole will break through the side. Mark the position of the hole for the rear rudder line by using the level of the rudder and the front screw of the handle. It can be really intimidating to drill a hole into your kayak. I start off with a 3mm drill bit for a pilot hole. The hole for the black pipe needs to be widened and angled towards the rudder. Use the black pipe provided to test the diameter and the angle of the hole. To mark the position for the hole for the front line feeder, I use the clip ring screw position and also place the line feeder angled towards the pedals and see where it best fits. Again, start with a 3mm pilot hole and then use a 5.5mm drill bit to widen and angle the hole towards the pedals. Test the hole diameter and angle using the black pipe before moving on. To feed the black pipe through the kayak, start from the back and gently push it through. Listen out for the front of it as it scrapes along the side of the kayak. The only thing that can really happen here is that the black pipe gets lost somewhere in the middle, and use the open hatches to help to guide the pipe as it moves through, and then pick it up from the open front hatch. With this kayak on the stand, I'm not tall enough to have the reach to push the pipe through the hole. I've put the kayak on the ground so that I get those extra centimeters. Or if you have a friend with longer arms, ask them to do this for you. What I did here is to first rest the pipe at the hole opening inside the kayak, and then I use a small pair of needle nose pliers just to give that extra leverage to push the pipe up through the hole. The grey waxed cord provided is your rudder line, and you can start feeding it into the black pipe from the back. Next, you're going to screw the line feeders in place, and I have one important warning for you. Watch the series of clips first before doing it yourself. You can see here how the self-tapper screw can come all the way through, so pay close attention as I put the first line feeder fitting onto the kayak. I'm going to start by putting some silicone around the line feeder fitting. Do not put the line feeder fitting over the black pipe when you drill this first screw. Pressing down on the pipe from the outside lifts it up on the inside and can put the pipe at risk of being drilled straight through. Turn the line feeder fitting into position and tighten the screw, but do so without pushing down on the black pipe. With the first screw done, the other two are easy. Push down on the line feeder fitting to get the screws in the right position. On the Marimba in this video, I've placed the line feeders where these green circles are. My friend is 6'2", so his foot pedals sit to the back of the footwell. I'm 5'6", and mine sit forward of midway. If a shorter person will be paddling and you'd like the foot pedals to be able to move closer towards the seat, there is an alternative position for the line feeders. Drill the hole for the cable exit and the line feeder at the position marked by the blue circles. The line feeder does not sit on top of the deck as before. It should be positioned on the upper part of the side surface. This will also apply to the Kasai and Tarka models of our Vagabond kayaks. By now you're probably wondering how to get the pipe through. You'll feed the pipe from the front to the back, and then feed a length of wire from the back towards the front. Through the open rear hatch, connect the piece of wire to the pipe, and then pull the wire from the back to get the pipe through the exit hole. With that out of the way, let's continue with the installation of the rear line feeder. As with the front fitting, start with this screw. It's important that the black pipe is nowhere near the screw that you're drilling in. You can manually tilt that pipe away. Pull the pipe through before fitting the last two screws. Inside the kayak, the pipe doesn't have to be tight like a guitar string, but it shouldn't sag either. I trim the pipe with a little bit sticking out, but you can trim it flush to the fitting. Make sure the cord isn't in the pipe when you trim it. And then from the other side, push the cord through. Slip the piece of heat shrink tube over the cord before securing. Thread the cord through the hole on the rudder and tie a knot. Hooks for the rudder line can be positioned as far forward as possible. Start threading the rudder line through the top of the pedal. The knot should be close to the hook and the loop not too big. Pass the heat shrink tube over the loop and knot. The tension from the bungee cord loop is something that you're not going to get right first time, so just start off with it tied, and later when you're adjusting the pedals, then you can retie with a tighter loop. This loop of bungee cord connects the rudder lines to each other to keep tension in the system. If you need to move your footrests, like if someone else is paddling your kayak, then unclip the bungee cord to remove the tension from the system. It's a lot easier to slide the pedals along the cord when there is no tension. And then reclip once you're done. The last part of this video shows how to fit the rudder pull-up cord, cleat and saddle clips. This really is optional. If you would like to fit the pull-up cord, start first by securing it to the rudder. Then attach the cleat, running the cord through it. And then fit the saddle clips, which really act as a guide for the line. The spring of the rudder pulls the rudder down, but being a kick-up rudder, if you do go over a rock or log, the rudder will lift. The pull-up cord really is if you want to pull the rudder out of the water and keep it there. Thread the rope end stopper and tie a knot in the rope before snipping it off and burning the ends. The last thing to do is to heat shrink these tubes over the knot of the rudder line. The heat shrink tube gives a nice finish, but it isn't essential. I use a heat gun. You can use the flame from a lighter or a candle, but be very, very careful that you don't burn the cord. And remember after trimming the cord to burn the ends. And that's your rudder successfully installed.